ready?
Everybody ready?
Okay. All right, good morning, class.
Good morning.
All right, so if I could give you $1 million or a Bible, which one do you think I would give you? I would give you the Bible. And that's what my dad always used to tell me. So growing up, every morning when I would wake up, I would either see my dad on his knees praying, or I would see him in the Bible. Whether it be in the afternoon or even in the evening, he would always read the Bible. My dad always impacted me and my family and has been a faithful man to his wife. Y'all bear with me, it's gonna get personal. Anytime we would have a problem or need an answer, my dad will always take me to the Bible and guide me to a story in the Bible. Now, when I grew older, he would always encourage me and say, here, you look for it, you read for yourself, you're a man now, So a verse that always put me at ease when I was growing up was John 14, 3-4. And it goes like this: and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me. You know the way to the place that I'm going. And growing up, I always been scared of dying, death, And that verse eased my mind. Why? Because I think, it's just close the casket, bada bang, bada boom, you 6 feet under. It helps me see that fear is just a mindset. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's what we make it to be. Fear it's just something that we have put in our heads, and we put a title on it called fear, and we run with it, and we let it consume us. I remember going to church every day, no matter what. I mean, it had to be a flood for us not to go to church. I was in church on Wednesday in Bible study. I went on Sunday. Then we would go to a second service sometimes. Oh no, let's not forget, revival time. I would go to church every day out of that week. All right? Now, the darkest moment in my life, I didn't mean to read that. When I had nothing else, I always had the Bible, I remember being locked away from my family the first time in my life, and I could literally see it right now. All I seen was white walls. Everywhere I went, white walls, closed doors. So it felt like you were being suffocated, and that the only thing you had to rely on was your imagination. And then if you didn't know how to use it, or you didn't know how to come up with something to keep you calm from being away from your family at a young age, then you would go crazy. A lot of kids, the place that I went to, would go crazy. And I did go crazy at times. Maybe. So the place I was staying, it comforted me. It let me, they comfort me by giving me this Bible, I call this my pleather Bible. It's real leather. I just call it pleather. But eventually, me going back to this place constantly. I mean, to the point where it was up to 4 times. I remember diving into the Bible like never before. I remember writing in my journal and putting myself in these characters, shoes. Okay, like what would I would do if I was Joseph or Daniel or and it helped me realize that, it was a revelation to myself that God had me in this place for a reason, and that I wasn't going to keep complaining about it, because that would just get me in more trouble, So if I could describe to you how this book has made me feel, because I don't look at it as a religion, or I don't look at it as, a book that man just wrote. I just look at it as a book that was a part of my life. A regular book that I picked up, and it so happened to have, different, 66 books or somewhere around there. And, I remember being treated like an animal in a psych ward. I remember being abused sexually when I was little. I remember being almost 300 pounds. I remember being picked on all the way up until college. I remember losing my mom at a young age. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that individuals who report 6 or more adverse childhood struggles or experience had an average life expectancy 2 decades shorter than those who reported none. So every day I woke up, it was a verse that I held on to get me through that day, to give me strength. It was something about the characters in the Bible that made my struggle that seemed so bad as theirs, because I made it. I'm still alive. I'm still waking up. God woke me up for a reason. And according to the National Alliance of Mental Illnesses, 43.8 million adults experience mental illnesses in a given year. So why do I keep going? I wake up knowing that it didn't happen for no reason. I keep a Bible verse posted for every new chapter of my life because I feel like God, He won't leave me. And I'm not up here to preach. I'm just telling you what this Bible has done for me. And I believe that he won't leave you in the dirt. He won't leave you behind. Because every time I fall, I always go back to the Bible and I feel comfort again. And I don't go pointing fingers and say, why me, or why is this happening to me? Because I know that if I speak up, I could save somebody who was walking in my footsteps. That little boy or that little girl who was sexually abused. That guy who was locked away in the mental hospital, or that doesn't know how to cope with his feelings, or that girl crying in the corner. Because I done cried in the corner. I remember walking every day in high school and just dropping silent tears as I walked in the hallway. So, I want to read something to y'all. A little motivation that I go to when I'm really struggling and I'm thinking about killing myself. So, it goes like this. I see I'm trying to find myself, but along the way I hit a lot of turbulence. You see, I'm like a seed that is about to sprout, but there are a few people blocking my sunlight. They don't want to see me succeed, so their logic is the crab in the bucket syndrome. But what they don't know is how fed up I am and how they are fueling my ambition to rise. Above it all, I will never let myself fall to the hands of a fool again. I will separate myself from these friends who appreciate ignorance and folly. Hold on, I was on a roll without looking. Only God can judge me. Therefore, who are you to say that I'm unworthy of excellence or achieving greatness? If I have the mindset of a scholar, then I'm a scholar in my own eyes. Let that fear overtake you, but use the adrenaline to your advantage to reach your goals. The only thing stopping you is yourself. You need to be the change you want to see, because there can never be a better you. The time is now, because what if tomorrow never comes? Or you wish you would have done that or this. Keep moving on until God calls you home to your resting place where the real treasures you have stored up are. Sincerely, me. So, Denzel Washington, he said something. He said, when I go to the grave, or when everybody goes to the grave, you can't take your riches with you. You can't take all this money and fame that you have with you, but you can leave a legacy behind. What you have poured out to people, what you have put into your children in the next generation. So I want to leave you with this. Forgive, but don't forget. And remember, nobody can take care of yourself like you. So stop beating yourself up. And never live your life as a reaction to what had happened in your past. So, on the right, that's April 22nd of 2016. And on the left, that's September 20th of 2016. I had lost I lost a body. But, and then now, I was 200, now I'm 173. So, I'm just showing y'all how determined I am and how I can't live my life as a reaction, because I want to be the best I can be. And thank you for listening.